Welcome to Solar Publication, where written memories find their voice today. We present The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Santiago is a young shepherd from Spain. He has a small flock of sheep and travels with them from one place to another. He likes his simple and free life. One night, Santiago sleeps near an old church where there is an old sycamore tree. While sleeping, he has a strange dream. In his dream, a young child takes him to the pyramids of Egypt and points toward a hidden treasure. Santiago wakes up, but he does not fully understand what the dream means. Later, he meets a gypsy woman and tells her about his dream. She tells him that if there really is a treasure near the pyramids, he should go there and find it. Santiago becomes confused. Should I really travel so far just because of a dream? Then he meets a mysterious old man who says that he is the king of Salem. The old man tells Santiago about an important idea called a personal legend. A personal legend is the dream or purpose that a person truly wants to achieve in life. For the first time, Santiago begins to wonder if his dream about the pyramids is more than just an ordinary dream. And this is where Santiago's real journey is about to begin. Santiago's journey. Santiago now decides that he will go to Egypt and search for the treasure near the pyramids. This decision is not easy for him. His sheep are his whole world, but he feels that if he does not even try to follow his dream, he may regret it later. He sells his sheep and leaves for Africa. Globe showing Europe, Africa, after reaching Tangier. Santiago arrives in a city in Africa called Tangier. Everything is new to him. The language is different, the people are different, and the culture is also different. He meets a man who says that he can help Santiago reach the pyramids. Santiago trusts him, but after some time, Santiago realizes that he has been cheated and all his money is gone. Now Santiago is completely alone. He has no sheep, no money, and no one he knows. Pensive face. But this is where an important point in the story comes. Santiago has two choices. He can go back to Spain, or he can struggle for his dream. He does not give up. Then he notices a crystal shop, and he decides that he will work there. Santiago asks for a job at the crystal shop. At first, the shopkeeper is a little hesitant, but he gives Santiago a job. The shop is on a hill, and very few customers come there. Santiago realizes that the shop can be improved. He gives the shopkeeper some ideas. Put crystal glasses outside the shop so that people can see them. Serve tea in crystal glasses to travelers. The shopkeeper agrees with his ideas. Slowly, more customers start coming to the shop, and the business begins to do well. Santiago saves money. After some time, he has enough money to return to Spain and buy sheep again if he wants to. But now, something has changed inside him. Earlier, he was only dreaming about the treasure. But now, he has learned what it means to take risks and work hard for his goal. Now he faces the same decision again. Should he return to Spain and start his old life again? Or should he continue his journey toward the pyramids of Egypt? Santiago finally decides that he will not give up on his dream. With this decision, he joins a caravan that is traveling through the desert toward Egypt. Santiago is now crossing the desert with a caravan. There are many travelers around him, and everyone has a different destination. During this journey, he meets an Englishman. The Englishman is reading about a mysterious man called the Alchemist, who lives somewhere in the Egyptian desert. The Englishman believes that the alchemist knows many great secrets of the world. He wants to meet him. Santiago is not very interested in the Englishman's books. His focus is on his journey and his dream. However, they both learn many things from each other. Crescent Moon, what does the desert teach Santiago? During the caravan journey, Santiago begins to understand that learning to understand the desert is also a kind of language. He observes nature, the wind, the stars, the animals, and the changes in the desert. At one point, the caravan has to stop because of conflict between different tribes. Santiago realizes that the journey through the desert is not only about reaching the treasure. He is also learning to understand himself. Red Heart, then an important character appears. An oasis called Al-Fam, Santiago meets Fatima. Santiago begins to like Fatima, and a new problem comes before him. Should he stay with Fatima, or should he continue following his dream? At the oasis, Santiago meets Fatima. They begin to like each other. For the first time, Santiago feels that perhaps staying with Fatima may be more important than finding the treasure. But he has a conflict inside him. Should I give up my dream and stay here? Fatima tells him that if he truly loves her, she will not stop him from achieving his dream. She wants Santiago to complete his journey. Crystal Ball Santiago has an important vision. One day, Santiago is watching some hawks in the desert. He has a vision that the oasis is going to be attacked. He tells the leaders of the oasis about his vision. At first, they do not completely trust him, but they take his warning seriously. Later, the attack happens, and the people of the oasis are prepared. After this incident, Santiago realizes that he is learning to understand the signs of nature. And at this moment, he meets the mysterious person the Englishman had talked about, Mage the Alchemist. The alchemist explains to Santiago that he must continue his journey if he wants to reach his dream. Santiago does not want to leave Fatima, but the alchemist explains that if he leaves his true purpose unfinished, he may regret it later. Santiago finally trusts Fatima and decides to continue his journey. Santiago now travels further into the desert with the alchemist. The alchemist does not simply show him the way to the pyramids. He also teaches Santiago how to understand himself. Doubts keep coming into Santiago's mind. Will I really find the treasure? Will I be able to return to Fatima? The alchemist explains that when a person follows a big dream, fear and uncertainty are normal. The important thing is not to stop. Red Heart listening to his heart. Santiago learns to listen to his heart. Sometimes his heart scares him, and sometimes it makes him doubt himself. But slowly, Santiago understands that his emotions are also a part of his journey. The alchemist also teaches him that the destination is not the only important thing. The knowledge and experience gained along the journey are also part of the treasure. Desert danger in the desert. As they travel further, Santiago and the alchemist are stopped by some warriors. They become suspicious and want to know who these two are and where they are going. The alchemist says something very unusual about Santiago, that Santiago understands the language of the desert and can connect with nature. Even Santiago himself is not completely confident about his abilities. Now, a very big test is waiting for him. Santiago and the alchemist are stopped by some armed tribesmen in the desert. The alchemist tells them that Santiago is a young man who can understand the power of the desert. The tribesmen give Santiago a chance to prove himself. Santiago becomes very scared because he feels that he will not be able to do it. The alchemist explains to him that he should not stop believing in himself because of fear. Santiago observes the desert, the wind, and the nature around him. He focuses on the strength within himself. After a lot of struggle, he finds a way out of the difficult situation. After this experience, Santiago's self-confidence becomes much stronger. An important lesson from the alchemist. The alchemist explains to Santiago that many things in the world are connected to one another. When a person sincerely follows their true purpose, the experiences they have along the way also become a part of their journey. Now Santiago and the alchemist are getting closer to the pyramids. But Santiago still does not know exactly where the treasure is. Santiago and the alchemist finally reach the Egyptian pyramids. Santiago becomes very emotional because the place he saw in his dream is now right in front of him. He thinks, my dream is finally going to come true. Santiago begins searching for the treasure. But suddenly, some thieves catch him and rob him. Santiago tells them that he has come here in search of a treasure he saw in a dream. One of the thieves starts laughing after hearing Santiago's story. He tells Santiago that he once had a dream too, about a treasure buried under a tree near an old church in Spain. But he says that he was not foolish enough to travel all the way to Spain just because of a dream. Santiago is shocked to hear this, because that is the exact place where his entire journey had begun. Faced with open mouth, now Santiago realizes that his dream had a completely different meaning. The real treasure. Santiago now understands that another part of his dream was connected to the place where his journey had started. He returns to the same old church in Spain, where he used to sleep with his sheep in the beginning. There, near the old sycamore tree, he starts digging, and finally, He finds a treasure he had traveled so far to search for. But the real meaning of the story is not just about finding the treasure. What did Santiago actually find? When Santiago started his journey, he was just a shepherd. He did not even fully understand the meaning of his dream. But during his journey, he learned to meet and learn from new people, face difficult situations, work hard and be patient, overcome his fears, listen to his heart, understand his purpose in life. And most importantly, if he had never started his journey, he would never have discovered the treasure that was actually close to him. He thinks about returning to Fatima because now he feels that he has completed his journey. The biggest lesson of the story. Sometimes we have to travel far away to reach our destination so that we can understand what we were truly searching for. That is the most beautiful message of The Alchemist.